Hi guys, Andrew here from Boxing Bros UK. Got a little bit of a different one. Today I wanted to talk about. And I watched the TalkSport interview with Jim White, Simon Jordan on the Jim White, Simon Jordan show with Frank Warren, who looked he looked like he looked quite sort of passionate and agitated to me. And look, people are going to argue it's a narrative and a PR stunt, but yeah, it's going to be a little bit of a different video actually, and people feel free to give your kind of 2 cents and tell me I'm full of shit and all the rest of it, which maybe I am. But he kind of alluded to Tyson Furys bipolar, which I know is well documented. It was well documented in the Netflix series. So this is going to be a discussion around a little bit of mental health and maybe Tyson Furys' frame of mind. Disclaimer: I have studied psychotherapy up to diploma level. Which I'm kind of putting myself out there, so if people hate this video, I'm like, well, what was he studying that for? I ain't got a clue, which may well be the case, but and it's been well documented, and he was kind of, so no, it wasn't too long ago, was it, after the Klitschko win, and then the subsequent decline mentally and the ballooning up in weight and the him nearly that story where he was driving at high speeds and nearly crashed into a wall, and then he had kind of visions of his children or voices of his children and decided not to. And he's been diagnosed with bipolar. Now I don't know if it's BP1, BP2, cyclothymia. Those are the three kind of main. BP1, for all of you that don't know, you have periods of extremely high, what they call mania, and extreme lows, and it normally is kind of goes along. And I think to be diagnosed with BP1, you have to have something like seven days of consistent mania, and something like that. There's an official diagnosis. It's been a while since I've looked into it. BP2, bipolar 2. Is similar, but you have hypomania, so it's not quite full mania. God, it's probably going mental health here, but just to give you an idea. And then kind of the depression phase, and then cyclothymia has kind of rapid cycling and is a mild form of bipolar. So I don't know which one he's got, but I think it wasn't too long ago after the Klitschko defeat, was it? And then he got kind of lauded, didn't he? And people were really kind of impressed with his honesty and authenticity, and he's a man of God, and he's put work into his mental health, and boxing and training is a big thing for him, and it's a big thing for me, training, exercise, all that kind of stuff, working hard, and he kind of managed, and he had those great wins, didn't he, against Wilder, and he was kind of on top of the world. And since then, maybe things have gone to his head a little bit. He's made a lot of money for all his future generations. Fair play to him as well. And he does come out with some outlandish things, and he speaks bollocks. We know this, and sometimes he can be really. You can tell this, right? Because I've seen some interviews with him where he looks really based and calm. And he's an intelligent man, articulate man. And then there's other moments, but particularly leading up to a fight, that's a persona thing. But there's other moments where he just looks manic, and you saw in the show, if anyone watched the show, where he's doing things in the spare of the moment and wanting to buy planes and airports and flying off, and 1 minute he wants to do this, we're going to Rome today, then by the way, no, we're not going anymore, or just really random stuff. So the guy's clearly got issues, and I think the media recently have been a little bit harsh, and kind of jumping on when he said about the only reason Usyk win is because of Ukraine. And you have to remember as well, he's just come out of a hard fight. Like he was battered in the 9th round. He's probably concussed, and and then the mic shoved in your face, and you say what comes to your head. And if he has got bipolar, there is that kind of behaviour in bipolar where. One of the symptoms is that they will conduct themselves in a way that they think is perfectly normal, and is probably perfectly normal for them, which other people find completely crazy. And he probably comes out with stuff in the spare of the moment, then gets analysed because he's this superstar. And yeah, look, I don't agree with some of the things he does, and I think you know, we done a video on John Fury, and he certainly doesn't help the situation. I don't think, in terms of the kind of Fury reputation, but I do think it's kind of overblown. Like the guys, that is a serious mental health condition, and maybe we just all need to distance ourselves and take a step back and go, do you know what, you know, yeah, he needs to take responsibility for his behaviour and accountability, and I totally agree with that. But maybe we need to cut him a little bit of slack sometimes. Say, oh, okay, look, you know, he's got his troubles and his demons, and you know, we'll let that one slide. Certain things you can't let slide, but we'll let that one slide. You know, he's sounding off, like he's emotional. Maybe he's going through a real depressive low, or he's having a mania moment for days on end, and he's just, you know, and that's where he maybe needs to hide away from social media and all of that stuff. But that's where good people around him, to shield him from that. And he's his own man, you know, I know that. But that's where good people around him, you know, having good words in his ear, just to try and protect him if he's going for a bit of a difficult time. Because now's going to be tough, and he's enacted the rematch clause. Looks like he's fighting October, we think, and fingers crossed and fair play to him. But it'll be interesting to see what he does now, whether he lives the life, whether he stays fit, stays training, eats well, you know, continues to maintain, you know, a kind of baseline, you know, and hopefully, I don't know if he's on medication, but hopefully he's still getting the help for his mental health. But that's really kind of what I wanted to talk about, really. You know, bipolar, 1 in 4 people with bipolar, I think this is American statistic, or maybe over here, 1 in 4 people with bipolar have suicidal ideation and suicidal tendencies. And they can kind of cut contact very quickly. And that's what's kind of happened with TalkSport, and you know, I can't comment on his interpersonal relationships, I don't know. But anyway, I don't want to go too much onto that, but I'd like to maybe see some people in the comments maybe share some of their insights. Perhaps people have got bipolar themselves that are watching this, or, you know, and just want to give their kind of reflections and insights onto it. But I just feel like, you know, that's maybe cut him a little bit of slack, and that's not. Now he's lost the heavyweight title. Let's not do what we do in the media and now completely devalue him, because we do know the media, and particularly boxing media and media in the UK, can be extremely devaluing. I mean, Anthony Joshua suffered a lot at the hands of the media, didn't he? No, he didn't help himself at times, but you know, yeah, that's all I want to say on it, really. But let me know what you think. An interesting topic of conversation, I thought, and me and the lovely Chris will be doing a breakdown of Jack Catterall, Josh Taylor rematch, very interesting fight, and also on the Chisora Joyce fight, which we both really don't want to see, really. Don't know why Chisora's in there, but anyway, in conclusion, yeah, let me know what you think. This has been Andrew from Boxing Bros UK. If you like this, our channel, and this kind of content, and all of our other kind of content and reviews and breakdowns, please give us a like and sub. I know everybody's, you know, begging for all that, but it does help the channel. It does help us. We're in our infancy, and it helps us to grow. And yeah, so stay strong, everyone. Have a great weekend, and keep on fighting. Cheers.